Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Sam here with CustomPCReview.com, and I'm back here again with another video unboxing for you guys. And today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the Amplifi HD Home Mesh Wi-Fi Kit. And this is the kit. It comes with a router and 2 mesh points. So basically with the mesh Wi-Fi system, you probably heard of it when Google announced the Google Wi-Fi. And basically it's the same concept. You know, you're going to have a router, and then I believe with the Google Wi-Fi, they had like 3 puck-sized kind of things that you know, you would place in different parts of your house, and then you know, it would all get Wi-Fi. But basically, this would be a similar concept. With this device, you get 3x3 MIMO, so it'll get a maximum throughput of 1.3 gigabits per second, depending on, you know, the device that you have, of course. This router transferring to one of these mesh points will also be at a very high performance because it does have that 3x3 MIMO support. Now this is dual band, so you know, you got 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. Unfortunately, there's no 60 gigahertz for those of you guys who have devices that support that, but you know, the vast majority of devices today are 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, so you should be pretty safe on that. Over here, you can see right here that it says 802.11ac Wi-Fi. It's got a simple setup solution, iOS, Android, which we're going to take a look at later once we plug this thing in and set it up. So yeah. Over here we can, well actually over here we can see kind of like a potential setup, you know, on where you would put a router and then where you would put the mesh points. So you got one router in the middle of the house and then 2 mesh points in the corners of the house, and then they basically would connect to the router, and then your clients would then connect to these Wi-Fi points that, you know, are created. So over here, you can see that this is the Amplifi HD, or high density, and the high density basically allows you to get a maximum aggregate speed of 5.25 gigabits per second. So this is like combining, you know, everything that this router is capable of. So, you know, all the 5 gigahertz channels, 2.4 gigahertz and all that, and then if you had like 10 devices or something, then you might be able to reach this number, you know, or somewhere close to it, since it is theoretical. So but you know, that's the only case. If you only have like one client, so one laptop, chances are you're probably not going to reach 5.25 gigabits per second. So over here you can see the range that says 20,000 square feet. Again, probably a pretty idealistic number. You know, most likely if you had walls or something in your house, it'll probably be like 10,000 square feet maybe, or probably quite a bit less. But cool thing about the mesh Wi-Fi system is that, you know, it does have self-forming, self-healing capabilities. So let's say you had the mesh router, and then you had you know, only one of the mesh points, then it would automatically know that there's only one of the mesh points, and then it'll kind of choose the best path for your device to connect to. So if your device connects to the router, you know, then and then this point goes out, and let's say you're standing somewhere here, then it'll connect to the router because it'll know basically based on signal strength which one's the best path. And then as well as, you know, even if you're like standing here, which technically you're closer to this access point or this mesh point, but if you happen to say, you know, this mesh point has a bunch of clients that are using it, and it's completely like taking all of its bandwidth, then your system would automatically know, you know, that this access point right here, or this router, has, you know, has less load, so it's able to go ahead and shift it to that. If you had a third mesh point, and then, you know, you were like out here or something, then it would be able to choose a path to which way to get to the router. And so it's a pretty neat system. That's what mesh gives you. And it's going to be kind of like the next generation of Wi-Fi technology. So it's it's pretty exciting. And so let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside the box here. So this right here is the kit. Like I said before, it's 350 bucks. So it's not like super cheap or anything, but for those of you guys who have larger homes, or you just always have that dead spot in your house, this is going to be the solution that you want, because it's just an easy way and a very effective way for you to get Wi-Fi all throughout the house. So this right here is basically the router, and the router can be bought separately actually for, I believe it's $150. So if all you need is a router and then you want to add more mesh points later on, you can always do that. But yeah, this is what the router looks like. It's actually pretty cool. This right here is actually a display. So later on, as I plug it in, you'll kind of be able to see, it'll come up with like different information and stuff. So it's pretty nice. Down here, you've got a foam pad right here that keeps it from slipping. In the back here, you got 4 gigabit ports for your LAN. You've got a WAN port, another gigabit port, and then you have a USB, as well as a micro USB for power. So that is pretty much the router. So let's go ahead and move on to the mesh points right here. So these mesh points are actually pretty cool. They actually detach, first of all, because they're magnetic. But you have the power brick right here, which you would probably plug into a wall somewhere, and then all you have to do is connect it and you're good to go. So once you connect it, you can see there are status indicators, and it should automatically connect to this because this is purchased as a kit. But if you do purchase these separately, and I believe these mesh points can be purchased for about 130 bucks each separately, then you might have to configure it to work with this specific router. But either way, great looking device that wouldn't look really out of place in a house or anything like that. So there it is right here. I'm going to put that to the side, and because this is the kit, you get 2 of them, and this kit should cover a pretty decently sized house, or a house with a lot of equipment, or a lot of I guess tablets, or if you have a lot of IP cameras are pretty popular these days. So if you have a lot of those streaming at 1080p video, then you can quickly use up a lot of bandwidth really quick. So over here you got a Ethernet cable right here, and then you have your quick start guide. I put this to the side. So you got your quick start guide, and this pretty much tells you information about the system. So I believe you could get this set up with an app, which we saw in the box. So we're going to take a look at that right after we get all this gear out. So last but not least, you get a power adapter, and this power adapter is a 5 volt 2 amp, or 12 volt 1.25 amp, or 9 volt 1.7 amp. So there it is, in case you need to replace the power brick. Over here you have a micro USB. So that's pretty much all you get in the box. Let's go ahead and plug this thing in and get some initial impressions on it. All right, guys. So off camera, I went ahead and set the system up, and just did something really quick so we can do a quick overview of some of the functionality of the router. So right away, you guys can see that the router, once it got plugged in, the LCD screen in the front lit up. So once you plug it in, it's going to kind of ask you to go ahead and download the app on your phone, which I did. And we're going to go through the app on the phone in a little bit. But you just use the app and you can set this whole system up. But in terms of this, the router right here, the LCD screen, in the front, it has the time, it has the date and stuff like that. But you can change the setting, or change the screen, so you can see how much data is going through, what the IPs are, what the throughput is, and stuff like that. So it's pretty neat. At the bottom, you do have a nice LED light, as well as this very thick foam material that will keep the router in place so it won't move on your table. So that's pretty cool. As far as setup back here, I mean, all I really plugged in was just the power as well as a WAN connection. So yeah, that's all you really need. Also went ahead and plugged in the mesh point right here. And so this mesh point, basically because this came in a kit, it will automatically be recognized. So once you plug it in, it'll automatically work. It's already paired and everything, so there's no additional work to do. So let's take a quick look at the app. Like I said, I already went ahead and set everything up. So this is pretty much the screen that you're gonna see once everything is set up. Setting it up is actually pretty easy anyway, so it'll ask you right in the beginning, do you want to set this thing up? And then you just choose the router, which is this one, and then setup is pretty much a breeze. But over here you can see that, you know, we've got some updates available, so I'll probably go ahead and update those in a little bit. Updating the router is really easy. I mean, all you got to do is click update all, and so it'll run the updates. But over here you can kind of see the stats on the mesh point, and over here it says great. You can see that it's got good signal. You can turn off the LEDs, so if you put it in a room where you want to sleep, then it wouldn't, you know, be annoying or anything. Over here you can also configure a router, so you can turn up and down the LCD screen. You can turn the LEDs on and off. You can set up a night mode, so once again, if you put it in like your bedroom or something, you're not going to have any issues. And we'll go ahead and take a look. We got one client, so here's some of the other screens. So we got performance. Just now I did a test right here of the download and upload speed, so it looks pretty good. 85.4 megabits per second down, and then 5.7 up. And I have a 100/5 connection, so that actually looks pretty good. Over here you got the guest mode, so you get 3 maximum guests, and then you can also configure other more advanced settings through this system right here. And over here you have all the devices that are connected. So I got the Android device, which is this Galaxy Note 4 here, and you got some information on the router. So that is, I would say, pretty much it. At the top here, you also have some information, how to get help, things like that, that we don't really want to go into right now. So that is pretty much it for the Amplifi Mesh Point router system. And I'm definitely going to have a full, more in-depth review that I'm going to go ahead and probably publish a written review on. So I'll leave that in the description link below once I'm complete with that. So it might take a couple days for me to go ahead and do some more in-depth testing. But aside from that, it looks like a really good, really solid, you know, router system. Pricing on that is $349. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description box below for that as well if you guys are interested. And that's all I really have. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, then don't, I guess. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.